So, can a president override the Supreme Court with an executive order? The Constitution creates three separate branches of government, and each has its own power. The courts interpret the law, Congress makes the law, and the president enforces the law. When the Supreme Court rules on a constitutional issue, that decision becomes the final word, unless the court itself overturns it in the future or if the Constitution is amended. Executive orders, well, they are powerful, but they also have limits. A president can direct federal agencies on how to enforce laws, set priorities, or respond to emergencies. But an executive order cannot change the Constitution or rewrite Supreme Court precedent. If a president issues an order that conflicts with the court's interpretation of the Constitution, well, the judiciary can strike it down. And that's exactly how checks and balances are supposed to work. Take flag burning as an example. In Texas versus Johnson, a 1989 case, the Supreme Court ruled that burning the American flag is protected free speech under the First Amendment. That decision still stands today. Even if a president strongly disagrees, no executive order can erase or override that precedent. At best, the order might spark new legal challenges designed to push the court to revisit the issue. But until the court actually changes its mind or the Constitution is amended, the ruling remains binding. The separation of powers prevents any single branch from becoming too powerful. I mean, imagine if a president could simply cancel out Supreme Court rulings with a simple stroke of a pen. Constitutional rights would shift with each administration, and the rule of law would ultimately collapse. Instead, the system forces each branch to respect the limits of its authority. So when presidents issue controversial orders that collide with established Supreme Court decisions, well, it often makes headlines, but the legal ground remains shaky. The Constitution protects unpopular rights precisely to stop leaders from overriding them when it's politically convenient. The bottom line, an executive order may challenge or test the law, but it cannot overrule the Supreme Court. Only the court or the people through constitutional amendments can do that.